It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for watching if you're watching me live. And if you're not watching me live, thank you for watching too. It is Bow Padow. Yes, I'm him. This is me, the Geno Jones Show. So I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles, where the big game, you know, that big game with the big halftime show, the big Pepsi halftime show with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige and Eminem. Yeah, that game. Speaking of the NFL, I just need to get this out top. But let me say this first. Please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe, like, and share, or subscribe, share, and like. Subscribe to the Geno Jones channel, part of the Geno Jones Network. Like and share and like this and every episode. So this information just came down within the last few hours. So there's a former head coach of the Miami Dolphins, a brother, black man named Brian Flores. He was the defensive coordinator. That means he was in charge of the defense for the New England Patriots the last time, as I call him, Satan or Bin Laden's team won the Super Bowl. So he eventually left there, went to Miami, became a head coach for 3 years, did an excellent job with limited talent, and really a quarterback that was challenged physically, so to speak. So anyway, he was let go this year, and he was like the hot candidate. As a matter of fact, 3 teams, Denver Broncos and the New York Giants, and I am leaving one other team out. That's irrelevant. So he had 3 interviews. Well, he didn't get any one of those jobs. And today, Brian Flores is suing the NFL, the National Football League, because he's like, these were sham interviews. Once again, racism has reared its ugly head. As a matter of fact, it never put his head down. And one of the interesting developments, and I can't wait to see more. See, they say if you go for the king, don't miss. If you taking a shot at the king, make sure you don't miss. And the NFL is the king of sports in America. Absolutely, no doubt. So for Brian Flores, who is a young man, under 40, to potentially put the rest of his coaching career in the National Football League at risk, to file a lawsuit against the National Football League, which consists of 32 owners. It's a club. It's a private club of 31 wealthy white men, billionaires. And then there's one dude, I think he's from Pakistan, Shad Khan, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. But he's kind of embraced this whole concept of, this whiteness concept. I digress. So Brian Flores suing the NFL, but apparently Brian Flores has an email from Bill Belichick that said, basically, told him before he went to New York City to interview for the New York Football Giants head coaching job. Bill Belichick, who was his old boss, the head coach of the New England Patriots, in a text message apparently told Brian Flores they already have a head coach. Oops, that part. Oh, you gotta love text messages, don't you? People forget that text messages are like forever. They're permanent. You can delete them, somebody can find them. So stay tuned. Oh, the fun is just getting started. Can you imagine? Wow, next week when they had the big Super Bowl media extravaganza and media day, because the commissioner is going to have this big news conference with reporters and journalists and folks who are not reporters and journalists, just fools from all over the world. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I would love, as a matter of fact, I would love to be I should try to get me some credentials just to go to the media day and ask the commissioner. And it's really unfair because Roger Goodell, he's a commissioner. He works for these men. Like I said, these are 31 white men who are billionaires, and one Pakistani. I don't know if he's an immigrant or if he's a Pakistani American. I'm sure he's a citizen now. But anyway, so basically 31 of the 32 owners, old, rich, wealthy, billionaire white men, set in their ways, got their own club, their own culture. They do things their own way. And one of the things they do is not hire black. There's only one black head coach. And he's been a head coach for almost 2 decades, Mike Tomlin, in Pittsburgh, by the Rooney family. And the Rooney family is a rule in the NFL called the Rooney Rule that basically says that the NFL teams are required to interview, keyword, interview minority candidates. They're required to interview. They're not required to hire. Okay? That's how we got one black head coach. So there have been 4 head coaching jobs filled, including in Chicago. And the funny thing about the head coaching job, Stu, that was a defensive coordinator in Indianapolis. Really? Brian Flores was a head coach. He was a defensive coordinator before he was a head coach. He was a head coach. So you passed over him, and they have as a matter of fact, a young brother, a young black guy, like 36. He's the general manager. He was in charge. Now, of course, they still got to run it by the owners. He was in charge of hiring the head coach. Brian Flores didn't even get an interview in Chicago. Now, the general manager of the Chicago Bears, he worked in Kansas City, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs, they got a brother named Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy has been the offensive coordinator. Basically, he's the one that talks to Patrick Mahomes in his ear and say, hey, man, we're going to run this play. He's been doing this. As a matter of fact, they won a Super Bowl with my man Eric Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator. The Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs, one of the most unstoppable offenses in football for the last 3 years at least. You would think, and Eric Bieniemy can't even get an interview. So you know what? I hope. So Brian Flores, my brother, and your attorney, your legal team, I say, why not get a class action lawsuit? Call Colin Kaepernick, contact Eric Bieniemy. Let me see, how many other head coaches that's been passed over? Call Jim Caldwell. Let's get a class action lawsuit of all these overly qualified black men who are not even getting interviewed. And if they get an interview, it's just a sham interview, which is at the root of the lawsuit that Brian Flores has filed, he and his legal team. That's at the core of it. He's like, this is a sham. You all already knew New York Giants, the Mara family. You already knew you had a head coach. And how do I know? Because one of your boys, Bill Belichick, pulled my coat and told me in a text message. So what are we doing here? So that was not really my main monologue, but I just couldn't pass it up. I could not pass it up. So a new ABC TV poll says that 76% of people that responded to the poll said that President Biden should not consider focusing only on a black woman to be our next Supreme Court judge. Only 23% of the people that responded in that poll in America said he should. Now here's what's funny. 119 people have been Supreme Court judges over the last so the Supreme Court has been in existence for 231 years. Over the course of 231 years, 119 judges have sat on the Supreme Court. 108 of those judges have been white men. 2, and you could argue, really only 1, 2 have looked black, One has actually only been black. Thurgood Marshall. I'm at me. I'm sorry. I got to tell it like it is. And we have never, ever, ever, never, never, ever, ever, never, ever, in 231 years, we have never, not ever, had a black woman to sit on the Supreme Court. You've only had, we have now 2 Latina women, or actually 1 Latina woman, and we have a white woman that President Obama appointed and got on the bench. We've had Ruth Bader Ginsburg, we had Sandra Day O'Connor. As a matter of fact, the people that are complaining and saying that President Biden is just racist, and how could you not consider white men? White men are not qualified. White men are not the only ones qualified to sit on the bench. And they have not been the only people qualified to sit as Supreme Court judges. But out of 119 Supreme Court judges, 108 have been white men. Really? So you think that only white men? You don't think they could have found like more than 2, or as I say, 1 real black person to be a black man to be a Supreme Court judge? They've only roughly had what, about 4 or 5 women? And no, not one black woman. All these brilliant black women. And now you have all these brilliant black women who are federal judges. I mean, like federal judges, there's like 1 step down from being on the Supreme Court. And all of a sudden, it's a problem. Oh, it's racist. Why did President Biden say that he was committed to appointing a black woman? Because guess what? Your boy, your first white Jesus politically, Ronald Reagan, yeah, that dude back in 1981 said to the public and the world, said that he was going to appoint a woman, that it was time for a woman to sit on the Supreme Court bench. And he appointed, and she was confirmed, Sandra Day O'Connor. Now, I don't hear Raphael Ted Cruz, Senator Cozumel, when the state Texas is freezing. I didn't hear him say anything about when President Reagan said that he was going to appoint a woman, that it was time for a woman to sit on the Supreme Court bench, and he selected one. I didn't hear anything. Your boy, your second white Jesus politically, Orange Hitler, said publicly that he was going to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who was a liberal, with another woman who was the exact opposite of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Amy Coney Barrett. But I didn't hear anybody say anything to Orange Hitler about, wait a minute, now hold on, that's not fair. Why don't you focus on appointing the most qualified person? We think it's racist for you to only say that you are going to only replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg with another woman. Why not another white man? I didn't hear anybody say anything like that. I didn't hear a peep out of none of you all. So miss me with all the, oh, it's racist and President Biden is racist. Stop with the distraction. I don't give a damn what you got to say. President Biden, do your thing. Today is the first day of Black History Month, but on the Geno Jones Show, every day, or as my man Nelly would say, repping St. Louis, the Lou, day is Black History Day and Black History Month right here on the Geno Jones Show. So, once again, I should ask, because today's theme, as you see, America, do you have a problem with brilliant black women? Now, I know some of you all saying, wait a minute, Geno, white people love Oprah and white folks love Beyonce. And some white folks love Michelle Obama. Oh yeah, if we can entertain you and we can make you feel good and feel comfortable and feel your pain and center your needs and insecurities. When black women do that, you love them. But when it comes to a black woman sitting in a position of power, having true power, then y'all got a problem with that. Now, I got a problem with you having a problem with that. So Senator Raphael Ted Cruz said, well, black women only make up 6% of the population. Okay, you want to play that game? White men make up, I think about 30, somewhere in the mid 30s, either 31 or 37%, somewhere like that. 30, I'm gonna give you 37. I don't have a number in front of me, but it's right around there. 37% of the population, but there's more than 37% of the people on the Supreme Court. You have a larger representation. White men make up more than 37% of the Supreme Court. Got 9 judges, got 2 women. You got, well, one dude with a suntan, but he could qualify to be another white man. So out of 9, you got really 6, arguably 7 out of the 9 are 6 look and really look white, and 1 he just a little darker than the other ones. But okay, I'll take off Clarence Thomas. Still, 6 of the 9 people, men on the Supreme Court, are white men. That's more than, so you can do the math. That's more than 50%. That's more like 60-something percent. 6 out of 9? I'm not a math major, but I can do that math. 4.5 technically would be, what, 50? So we're talking about 6 out of 9? That's more like 2/3, actually. Some quick math in my head like that. 2/3, 37%. Actually, I think it might be 31%, but it's in the 30s. So that's over-representation. And now remember, 119 judges have or are currently, over the history of the Supreme Court, you've had 119 Supreme Court judges. 108 have been white men. Okay? I'm just saying. And never, not one, not ever, ever, never, ever have you had a black woman as a Supreme Court judge. And y'all crying and bitching and whining about one, and all these women, all these sisters that are candidates, are overly qualified, sitting as federal judges, district court, federal district courts, one in DC, one from South Carolina, J. Michelle Childs, brilliant, Sherilyn Ifill, who was the head of the Legal Defense Fund for the NAACP. You know who held that job way back in the day, back in the 50s? Thurgood Marshall. So Sherilyn Ifill had the same job. She just recently stepped down. She had the same position that Thurgood Marshall had, being the head of the Legal Defense Fund for the NAACP. She's argued cases in front of the Supreme Court. Super qualified. So like I said, miss me with, oh, it's racist and, so I guess you're saying that white men need not apply. Not this time. No, because y'all good. You already got 6 out of the 9. Like, damn, greedy ass. Share some of the power. When you make up less than 40%, like 30 some odd percent of the population, and you got 70% of the judges on the Supreme Court, what are we doing here? I don't want to hear anything else about people whining about whatever woman is confirmed and sits on the Supreme Court. I guarantee you, out of the 12 names that you may hear mentioned, any one of those 12 women are more qualified than Brett Kavanaugh, who was just recently appointed not too long ago, not to mention that woman he went to college with accused him of sexual harassment, worse, or assault. And that just kind of was like water off a duck's back. It's like, he didn't really do that. He was drunk, and it was a long time ago, and he was in college, and boys will just be boys. They just kind of swept that under the rug and made the woman feel like she was at fault. And Amy Coney Barrett never even tried a case, or never even argued a case, I should say, never even argued a case in front of the Supreme Court, or even tried a major case like that. But I digress. Hello, shout out to everybody that's checking in my live chat room while I'm live on camera. Of course, hello to my mother. Hello, mother. Hey, sugar, thank you. Yes, mother. As a matter of fact, my mother would still make a great Supreme Court judge. She would make the best. Now, she didn't have she didn't have the Ivy League pedigree. She actually was on track to go to an Ivy League school. She was a straight A student, and the only thing that slowed her down was me. So my mother could who knows, she could have been that first Supreme Court judge. But I digress. And she'll say, no. She said, no, you didn't derail my chances. You didn't slow me down. But my mother is that kind of brilliant woman. So there have been so many brilliant black women over the decades, over the centuries. Remember, the Supreme Court has been in existence for 231 years and has never, ever even had one black woman as a Supreme Court judge. And y'all complaining and bitching and whining, please just shut the blank up. Miss me with that. We're not doing that today. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones channel right here on YouTube. And please tell everybody you know, everybody that you like, that you love, that you can't stand, that you hate, even strangers, aliens, folks on the subway, folks on the L, folks on the interstate in LA on the 405, if you're in Chicago on the Dan Ryan or the Kennedy, or if you're in New York on 95, on the Turnpike, if you're in Pennsylvania, wherever, on I-10, wherever you are, tell everybody to subscribe to the Geno Jones channel and check out the Geno Jones Show. You won't be sorry. You'll be glad you did. Yes, you will be glad you did. Shout out to Mr. Markell Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist. Yes, he is. Even though I'm rocking my cap, I'm doing my Marvin Gaye back in the day Scully impersonation. Markell Bailey is the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. You can check him out on Instagram, KLB Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones and Bruce Gage, the official wardrobe consultants, stylists for the Geno Jones Show. Allie Jones is on Instagram. _ you can find her, _ is that line below. _ Lexi, LEXXIE, one space over, Nicole Designs. _ Lexi, Nicole, no, _ Lexi, space, one space, Nicole Designs. Bruce Gage, you can search him. He has got a dynamite Instagram page. You can see the latest fashions. He's got the, I believe, fall and winter. Now he's probably got the winter 22, fall, winter 21, 22. And he may even have like a preview on like his spring 22 fashions, the fall outlook. So you can find him. Just do this. Do a Google search or Siri search or whatever search. Do a search, an internet search. Bruce Gage on Instagram. His Instagram page is Miglio D Mario Uomo, but it's spelled MIGILIODI Mario MARIO. MARIO 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 Uomo Uomo. It's Italian. Miglio di Mario Uomo. Just like I said, just type in the search Bruce Gage on Instagram. You'll find him. Thank you for watching, everybody. Once again, thanks everybody for jumping in the chat room. Mother, thank you for watching. Everybody else is watching me live. I see you. I see my numbers. I see my meter. Lets me know folks are watching. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Love to hear your feedback. Tomorrow, we support black businesses. It's Black History Month. But like I said, it's Black History Month every day, right here on the Geno Jones Show. So tomorrow I am going to salute another black-owned business. You don't want to miss that. And if you'd like to have your black-owned business featured on the Geno Jones Show, reach out to me, leave me a message right here on my YouTube channel or Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. One more thing before I get out of here. As always, I always close the show. I like to close the show by saying, be blessed. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.